In today's episode of the Freelance Unlocked podcast, we're going to talk about embarrassment and how it's actually the key to overcoming literally all of your fears. I'm going to tell you a very embarrassing and vulnerable story about my journey to learn salsa dancing. And it's definitely vulnerable, but I'm very excited to share it with you because there's so many parallels between learning to dance as an adult and like starting a business, just the way that you have to put yourself out there and be embarrassed all the time. But think about it this way, guys. Most people go through life avoiding embarrassment at all costs, myself included. I remember I was in Mexico City, once in a lifetime opportunity, right? I was living there and I knew that there was this really amazing hip hop studio close to my Airbnb. Like I literally chose the Airbnb because of how close it was to the studio. I could walk there. I'm talking world-class dancers and beginner-friendly classes. I remember I went to one class, maybe two, and I just was so overwhelmed with anxiety. I felt like I didn't belong. And I even made some friends there, but I just let them go and decided to avoid going to the classes anymore because I couldn't handle the embarrassment and that uncomfortable feeling that came from being somewhere that I wasn't used to, that came from being out of my element. So I didn't get the chance to learn hip hop dance from world class dancers at an affordable price in Mexico City. And it's one of my biggest regrets. But that's what happens when we avoid embarrassment, when we avoid discomfort. And it's the same thing with business. I know so many people, I tell them, find your freelance clients by asking people just put yourself out there, make a post on social media, lean on your network. Most people get their first or second or third client, and they're people that they already know. But then the people who don't make progress as a freelancer or never get started or never grow their business are the ones who are so afraid of that embarrassment and discomfort, and they want to continue to avoid it. So, running towards embarrassment and discomfort, as difficult as it is really just the key to business success, to creating a life that you love. It's the key to everything. And like I said in this podcast episode, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that using the parallel of my salsa dance journey. So I hope you enjoy this. And I would love, as always, to hear your feedback. So let me know, reach out to me on Instagram or send me an email. Welcome to the Freelance Unlocked podcast, hosted by me, Haley Davidson. I quit my corporate marketing job at 23 to freelance full time. Since then, I've tripled my income, work just 20 hours per week or less, and get to work from anywhere in the world. But like many new freelancers, when I first got started, I was underpaid, overworked, and disrespected by clients. In this podcast, you're going to learn how I turned the tables and unlocked true freedom and started living my dream life through freelancing. And here's a spoiler alert: my success started from the inside out. I'm so glad you're here. Now let's get started. If you want to learn how to overcome all your fears and make this freelancing thing work, or finally start that business, or do honestly whatever scares you, listen up, because I'm about to tell you exactly how to do it. Okay? So I am trying to learn how to salsa dance. And I have been trying for a long time, and I've been scared for a long time. It's very intimidating because a lot of people are good. And if you don't know about salsa dancing, it's like a huge global worldwide community. People train incredibly intensely. Like some people train 6-7 days a week and they just dance and dance and dance. So it's very intimidating for someone that's new and that doesn't want to train 7 days a week. So I was faced with a decision this weekend. I'm alone, it's Saturday night, and I'm like, I need to go to this social and practice because I've been taking lessons, but to actually learn, just like a language or anything else, you have to actually apply what you know by putting it into action. You have to go to a social if you want to learn how to dance. So let's first talk about, what does it feel like when you're afraid of something? And what does your mind try to do to keep you from doing a thing that you're scared of? A thing that you think will make you very happy, like starting a business or raising your prices or learning to freaking salsa dance. Well, in my case, Saturday night, I planned to go to the social. I was excited all day. It's 8 o'clock. Suddenly I get a stomach ache and a headache. And I am like mad because I washed my hair and I forgot to blow dry it. So now it's a mess. And I'm running late. And I start having all of these negative thoughts about, is this place in a bad neighborhood? Am I going to be okay? Side note, I literally took a self-defense class so that I would be prepared to go to these things that are sometimes late at night by myself, right? but my mind is trying to talk me out of it. So then I said, okay, what's the least intimidating thing? I'm going to, ignore all these things. I'm drinking some tea to resolve my tummy ache, take ibuprofen. And I say, I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to drive into the parking lot. If I'm still freaking out, I will turn around and come home. But I need to get in my car and go. Maybe it's typing out, maybe you need to type out the email with the increased price. You don't have to send it, but you need to type it out and prepare to send it. Okay, baby steps. So now I get in my car and I'm driving, and oh my God, talk about the most anxiety-inducing car ride of my life. I'm literally having negative visualizations of all the things that can go wrong. I start thinking, what if I get in a car accident? What if someone, kidnaps me? What if someone's mean to me? What if blah, 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 blah. And again, I prepared for all these scenarios, but my brain is just flipping out. I've done everything I can to be safe, to be prepared. I know it's not in a bad neighborhood, all of this, but still my mind is trying to talk me out of it. I get there, I'm like, oh, the parking lot's full. The parking lot is not full. So I find a spot right by the front door, actually. And I walk in and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay for 10 minutes. And if I'm not having fun, I will leave. But I need to go for 10 minutes. Do you see a pattern here? I'm pushing myself little by little, and I'm purposely ignoring the voices in my head that are just freaking the F out. The only reason I can do that is because I have gone through this process a lot of times in my life where I have literally freaked out. Like, I know that my brain, my subconscious mind or whatever, is gonna do everything in its power to keep me from stepping outside of my comfort zone, even down to physical pain, right? I don't know if you've ever gotten a migraine before a big event or a sore throat before a big speech, but even your physical body will start to try and do things to protect you when you're trying to reach a new level of growth, when you're trying to start a business, when you're trying to learn to salsa dance. So I get in there and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. And I started dancing, and guys, I embarrassed the living crap out of myself. I embarrassed myself so many times with so many very kind dancers, and that's the thing. I walked up to people, or they walked up to me and asked me to dance, and I said, hey, I'm a beginner, but yeah, I'd love to dance. And some people, did the beginner moves with me. Some people made me feel like an idiot because they were spinning me around and around, and I couldn't keep up. But at the end of the day, everyone was so nice. And that's what we have to remember, right? Is that is something more embarrassing if you act like it's embarrassing, or if you find a way to laugh through it. And that's the attitude you need to have in freelancing or in entrepreneurship or in learning to dance or learning a language. I had to learn Spanish. It's the same thing. If you make a mistake, you have to laugh through it, because it makes everyone uncomfortable when you're tense. You can't dance when you're tensed up, when you're freaking out. And so I've learned now, because I've put myself in this position enough. And not at first, trust me. At first, I was freaking out. I wouldn't even go to the socials. I would go for one dance and then I would leave. But now I've gotten to the point where I'm still freaking out when I'm going there and trying to talk myself out of it. And once I'm there and I'm dancing and I'm talking to people and I'm getting to know them and I'm just listening to music and I'm still embarrassed. I feel embarrassed as hell when I'm dancing. And I feel embarrassed because people who I've met at the dance social might watch this video because my social media is public. That's how much I love you guys. That's how much I love you freelancers. Is I'm embarrassing myself. That I felt very embarrassed, but I found a way to laugh through it. I just made that eye contact and laughed at myself. And then they're laughing, and maybe they were feeling awkward too because they didn't know how to lead me because I'm such a bad dancer, but now we're just both laughing. And so that is how you get through it, You take baby steps, you laugh through it, but you have to actually do the thing. You have to dance if you want to be a dancer. You have to, quote a price, send an email, go to a networking event if you want to be a freelancer. And lastly, I'll say, you also have to know your limits and understand that it does take time. Did I stay at that social until 2 a.m. like I could have and dance with everyone there? No, I left at 11. I think I stayed an hour and a half, And then I left and I didn't say goodbye to anyone because I was still a little embarrassed, but I just snuck out. And then I came home and I'm filming this video because I also know my limits. I don't want to burn out on the journey to learn how to salsa dance. I don't want you to burn out on your way to learning to freelance. I don't want you to do the scariest thing right away or send 100 emails a day. I want you to take it step by step and be patient with the process. And also visualize where you want to be in 6 months. And remember that you're not going to get there by rushing or by burning yourself out. If I stay until 2 a.m. will I get a little bit more practice as a salsa dancer? Yeah. But if I burn out or I get frustrated or I, just lose my love of the music or whatever else, then that's not going to make me a better dancer 6 months from now. Consistent, steady progress is going to make me a better dancer. And consistent, steady progress, whatever that looks like for you as a freelancer, is going to make you a better, more profitable freelancer. So I hope this story helps. I hope you appreciate that I'm out here exposing and embarrassing myself, and sending you all love. We'll talk to you soon.